Hi, welcome to Robin's Roost. Today we're going to make a W-fold card with a Christmas theme using the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper. Here's the card. Let's flip the camera and get crafting. So let's start with the pieces that we need. So you're going to have a card base that is a piece of cardstock cut in half the long way. Okay, so it's 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 5 1/2. And you can just go ahead and give it a good crease and then set that off to the side. Now we need 3 pieces of the Whimsy and Wonder designer paper that are cut 4 by 5 1/4, and this is going to go on the outside. We need 1 design and then 2 for the inside. And then we need the long strip. Here we go. And this one is 11 inches, so it's the whole length of the paper, and then cut to 1 3/4. Yes, 1 3/4. I hadn't written that one down. And then you're going to score it at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. We'll set that off to the side. And then we need some matting pieces, and I've done these in mint macaron. Oh, I think the card base and the strip are in Blushing Bride. These are 2 by 3. And then your little white pieces that you're going to stamp on are 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. So these are going to fit right onto those matte pieces. And then we're going to need for the front a scalloped circle, and this is, I think it's probably about a 3-inch circle. I've actually cut these with my circle dies, which I highly recommend. If you have a die cutter and you don't have this set yet, you need to get it. You're going to use it a lot. And then a white circle to go inside, and this is about 2 1/2, I believe, if you were using punches instead of the dies. And then we're also going to need just a few random pieces of the designer paper with some things that we're going to cut out of them. So let's do our stamping. We'll talk about the stamp set we're using is the Holly Jolly Wishes. It's a greeting stamp set. Super fun. I love to have lots of different greeting stamp sets. I do a lot of Christmas cards, so I especially like to have lots of Christmas card ones. And we're going to bring in the Mossy Meadow, which is what we're using for the mat on the greeting. And here's our big Merry Christmas to You. I love this. You don't really have to line anything up because you can angle it. Just make sure it's on the circle. Beautiful. I love that greeting. It's just so, what would you say? Just so Christmas. Very traditional. And then we're also going to stamp on the part that we're going to sign our little name, "'Tis the Season to be Jolly," and we'll also do that in Mossy Meadow. Okay, and I think we're ready to start assembling. So let's pull in our pieces here. Grab our tape runner. Oh, before we put this piece down, I always forget this when I have ribbon. I just want to tuck this ribbon underneath here. And I darn near forgot it. I don't use ribbon a lot. I don't know why. Just not a ribbon and bows girl. Okay, so we're just going to kind of put this where we want it. Flip it over. Oh, maybe we want it more centered. Let's just get our tape runner to start. Hopefully it's sort of straight in the middle. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Center this. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and pop this up with dimensionals and see how fun this is. You can tip it. You can use it straight. It's just, I love that greeting. I'm just going to adhere it flat because I'm going to be mailing this card. Well, I'm going all wild with my grid paper here. So we're just going to adhere this a little bit kind of to the right side of the card front so we can see all of our pretty boxes. And I'm going to tip it just a little bit. That way they won't know that I didn't have it straight, right? Okay, so that's our card front. See how simple that was? Now, this, I really thought about putting this on. What do you think? It would kind of be a calmer background, but I'd be really sad to cover up this glitzy, shiny paper. Ooh, it's really hard to decide. I'm going to go with the glitzy, shiny paper, but I'd love to see your card if you make it. Send me an email with a picture with the green side out, because I really think maybe that would be prettier, but I just, the shiny, the ooh shiny stuff part of me really wants the shiny stuff to be out. But I'm having a hard time keeping my grid paper still this morning. So do you have all of your Christmas decorations up yet? I am still working on mine. Okay, and this is going to fit right across here. And what we're going to do is we're going to adhere these two pieces down flat, right? So we're going to fold this like this. And let's bring our bone folder in just to give it a nice crisp. Our W here. Make sure they're nice and square. It looks like I have this one off a little bit. Okay. So there's our W, right? And it's going to go right in here like this. And I think I am going to pull in my liquid glue, just because the Stampin' Seal, when it's down, it's like it's down. But the liquid glue, we can wiggle a little bit in case it isn't quite in the exact right spot when we set it down. Okay. So we're going to line up our edges, and then we'll fold it, give it a good smush. And our inside is ready for decorations. So I think this side is going to be our little greeting that we're going to sign. So let's go ahead and adhere that, because we know where that's going to go. Now there's a couple different ways that you can layer these on here. So you can either like keep them straight, you know, all the way across, like line them up. Or if you're worried about them all being straight, You know, like you can see I can't keep anything straight this morning. You can kind of like kitty wampus them. Just make them crooked so that you don't have to worry about them being off, because everybody will think you wanted them off. Okay, now we're going to pull in our little pieces here, and my snips. Love my snips. If you don't have a pair of these, you need to get one. They're just great for cutting out these little things like this. Ooh, and I'm kind of shaky this morning. And I really haven't drank that much coffee yet. Only 1 cup. So it's not from too much caffeine. And remember when you're cutting around things to move the paper, not the scissors. I used to work in a graphic arts department at a company, and my boss, who was like a perfectionist, taught me that, because I wasn't the best cutter. Okay, and I just love this the ornament with the little deer face in it on this paper. So I had to grab this. It really wasn't a scrap. I cut the corner off of a big sheet. I hemmed and hawed about it because I hate like little chunks of stuff. I keep them all, of course, but isn't he just so pretty? And we've got this little bow here. I'm thinking that this might look kind of cute, tucked in some corner here. Maybe on this one. We'll see where we want to put it. I don't see anything there we need. Have to use every little scrap, right? And then this is such a pretty Christmas tree. I love the Christmas trees on this paper. They're just gorgeous. And you get 2 sheets of each of these designs, so you can have lots of fun with them. Is a stamp set and die set that also coordinate with this paper. But for this card, I'm just using the paper. So you can see how our sweets coordinate, all the pieces coordinate. But if you have a one part of the sweet that you like I fell in love with this paper, you can just get the paper and enjoy it. Or if you love everything, you just buy the whole, they call it a collection. So you enter one part number and you get all of it in one fell swoop. So that's going to be our tree. And see the backs of this this pretty Whimsy and Wonder paper are not foiled, but there's some pretty patterns like the one that we saw on the striped paper. Now they looked kind of like they're like, ooh, sticking out on this white paper. So we're going to pull in some ink pads, and we've got the mint macaron to match the colors of the tree and the ornament. We're going to pull in a blending brush. I love these things. We're just going to off a little bit, and then the tree is going to be in the center. So we're going to make like a green glow behind the tree, right? Just a light glow. Let's see if that's enough or if we need a little bit more. No, I think we need a little more. A little darker. And it's just kind of a guess as far as where you want the glow. There, I think I like that. And then we're going to do the same thing behind the ornament. Now, if you're coming in from the edges, you can just run your blending brush, from the edge in. But I don't want the edges on this one. I want it actually in the middle. So I need to do my first ink off over to the side. Okay, let's see how that's going to look. You could have also used the pink on this one. On second thought, maybe I would have liked the pink. So there's another card. If you guys happen to use the pink behind here, I would love to see how that looked. There we go. Seeing it just kind of, well, let's see. I think I need a little bit. I got a little kind of dark here. Let's go down a little bit. There. Make it softer. So there's our little deer ornament. And then this one, I'm going to use the pink. So let's close this ink pad. Bring in our blushing bride. And I keep my, I have a set of these. I think I have 6 or 8 of them. And I keep each color separate. So I don't ever wash them. Just want a little circle where the ornament's going to go, and then we're going to hang this on the top. Perfect. Okay. Now I think I'm going to use the liquid glue for these. The liquid glue is awesome, but always remember that less is more. You don't want big gobs of it, and it really doesn't take very much of it to stick things down. Ooh, I love the way that glow is around the ornament. That one turned out perfectly. There's our little deer. She is just so sweet. I know, I'm kind of crazy. Deer is one of my favorites. I have a whole bunch of little deer that my grandmother had, kind of my deer collection. They're these little like plasticky rubber deer that I decorate for Christmas, and they look a little bit ratty because they're, you know, 60 years old, but they're like old friends when I pull them out. Okay, so let's get these on. They're mats. Do any of you guys have ornaments and treasures like that? I spend like a whole week putting my Christmas decorations up. Mostly because I like to I look at them and I remember who they came from, what they meant to me. So it takes me a long time. And I don't go very fast. I'll only work on it for like 3 or 4 hours a day. And then I kind of get overwhelmed with all the memories and I have to stop. I don't know where I'm getting all these little dusty pieces. You'd swear I was erasing something. And I don't think I was. Now you've got a couple options, like I said, when you'd hear these, straight, crooked, whatever. And you can also either put your glue on your piece or on your strip. Your choice. I'm going to put them on my green part here. You got to be careful so that you get it in the center where you're going to lay these down. I'm just going to lay it lightly for right now, till I get them all centered and lined up, because straight is not my middle name. It's one of the things that I struggle with even after all the years that I have been making cards. I think they're fairly straight. We're going to go with it. So isn't that pretty? Sparkly, kind of girly, for a special girlfriend maybe. Sign your name, love, Robin. I think it's a sweet Christmas card. So if you really like this card, purchase a pack of the Whimsy and Wonder paper, and I will send you a PDF file of this, the directions for this card. I'll have the link below to my store. So hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy making some cards.